embracing bringing in Canadians to this country is challenged by this housing crisis.
So there are very real challenges when it comes to the tie between housing and immigration, but we can't lose who we are or lose sight of the fact that immigration more broadly is an essential part of Canada's economy today and will be in the future. 100% of our labour force growth in Canada comes from immigration. 1/3 of the doctors in Canada are newcomers. 1/4 of the nurses in Canada are newcomers. When we are talking to labour unions here in Toronto, they've been telling me when I was the immigration minister of the need to create opportunities for people to transition to permanent residency or to continue to attract the talent we need. To put it into perspective, as we've increased our immigration levels through the federal government's permanent residency programs, it got a lot of attention, but it's not that far off our historical average. Since the end of the Second World War, we're in roughly the same ballpark of our average since then, ballpark 1.5% of the population. We have new challenges that have emerged with our temporary programs that I think we need to be honest about and we need to address. If I look at the international student program, which by the way provides a pipeline of young and talented people who want to make a contribution, but I see that the numbers have grown by several 100,000 over the past few years alone. One of the challenges that we have is that the federal government doesn't set a level for the temporary programs. It hasn't in the past. It's not going to, in the recent past, it's not going to necessarily be a permanent function of design. But there's mixed jurisdiction. Provinces identify the institutions who are eligible for the student program. Institutions are motivated to bring in more and more international students because they can charge a higher tuition and support the operation of their institution. There's a lot of good actors in the space, and it's very important we don't paint them all with the same brush. I do think there are bad actors in the space who are seeking to personally profit on some occasions under the false promise of permanent residency for students, where that will not be the case. And it's created a scenario where we've seen several 100,000 additional people come to Canada, sometimes under false pretenses. This is a challenge we need to address, and we will address it. We're working together closely with Minister Miller's team at IRCC to chart a path forward that will ensure that the people who are coming here are pursuing a legitimate course of study, have an opportunity to make a difference in Canada, and that they'll be well supported. I believe institutions, if they're going to be financially better off as a result of embracing the student program, also have a responsibility to provide housing for them. We're developing a trusted partner model with institutions right now to reward those good actors who fully support their students, provide housing for them with preferred access to study permits. As challenges emerge, we need to address them. This is one that has become a bigger challenge over the last year or two, and we're going to work towards solving it without losing sight of the fact that, with the exception of Indigenous peoples, everyone in this country came from somewhere else. I'm no exception.